serious.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, you making them make the flags politely? Awesome.
I blocked it.
Here, I have a beret sheet.
Yeah, no, it's after this.
And
Zod Habracha. I can do the last 3 lines.
Yep. Izzy? Yeah. And Dahlia came once in a while. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times she's melted down because it's time to leave.
So we're going to do it right out of the book.
Yeah, right out of here. So here. Put this right here. And oh, let me go throw this on the table. We're going to be doing that while you're making your adult service.
Yep.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Let's get them in here.
They're coming. Nothing wrangles people in like a little bit of music. Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
E-oh-oh.
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 How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. E-oh-oh.
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 Shevet achim gam yachad hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad E-oh-oh.
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 Right? So, Cantor, how's it going?
I'm all right. Doing great.
Excellent. Okay, so I'd like to introduce everyone to Cantor Manny. Cantor Manny in the house. Well, why are we here, Cantor?
Okay, who knows what holiday? Rusty. That's a good answer.
Good answer.
Can't say that's wrong. Can't say that's wrong. Yeah, but there's another holiday. But it actually was a few days ago.
Yeah.
But we're celebrating it. All right, what is it? Simchat Torah. Wow, we got it. But Rusty was right, too. He was right. He was actually factually correct.
I know.
But we are settled.
Holiday of the year, Shabbat.
We are celebrating Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah is the holiday where we finish every week. We read a different part of the Torah, right? You know that? Around the world, there's every synagogue, wherever you're at, they read the same part of the Torah. We have a schedule. And at Simchat Torah, we finish reading the Torah, and then we start over again. We start over the whole cycle. So this week, this Shabbat, we're going to read the first chapter in the Torah about the creation of the world. All right? Called Breshit. The creation of the world. That's what we're going to read this week. And then we'll go all through the whole Torah again. Every week we read a different part. And we're just happy we have the Torah.
All right.
All right, all right.
Thank you, Cantor.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we continue on page 120 with the blessing of the candles.
Are we going to light them?
Yeah, I guess we should. That's a good idea.
I'll stay away from them.
Okay. I didn't even have a prayer book. I just wrote it down on my cheat sheets.
This is one for Hazel, right?
No, that one's Rabbi. Thank you. Shtayim, Shalosh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechad likner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Beautiful. Do we have any wine?
Well, it's
Maybe down there?
imaginary wine.
Do we have any wine, Nick?
Oh, that's the good stuff too. Bottom shelf. Woo!
I can't have any.
No, not yet.
You got to wait a few years. Okay. All right. The Kiddush, if you're following along, let's all follow along in our prayer book. The Kiddush is on page, I believe it's 124. Let's see if I'm close.
123.
123. That was pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close, sir.
Okay.
Totally.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, b'horei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava v'ratzon, in chilanu zikaron l'maseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zeker l'tziyat mitzrayim, ki vanu vakarta, biotanu kidashta, mikohamim, V'shabbat kocheka b'yava uveratzon in kaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. That imaginary wine.
Thank you, Cantor. No, we all continue in our prayer book on the bottom of page 389.
I'm taking off my jacket. You know that?
It's a little hot in here. Go for it.
No, it's going to be a little more informal.
So this is the reason why we're all here tonight. On the bottom of page 389, we read together, "May your eyes sparkle with the light of Torah, and may your ears hear the music of its words. May the space between each letter of the scrolls bring warmth and happiness to your soul. May the syllables draw holiness from your heart, and may this holiness be gentle and soothing to you and all God's creatures." And we continue with the Baruch Hu on page 394.
And we rise for the Baruch Hu. We have to rise. Stand up for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la la,
Ya la la la, la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Baruch Hu,
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Lai 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 la la la, ya la 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 la.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. And we continue while standing on page 398. Let's read together the reading in the middle of the page, Ahavat Olam. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. So, it's crazy to think about this time. This is crazy times. Okay, good. Thank you for the nods. And this is the first time that our JLC has been back in the building in over a year. Yes, woohoo! And thinking about Sukkot and Simchat Torah, and how do we make these moments very special to us at home and in our community here at Temple Bethel. And so, I don't quite have an answer for you yet, but in a moment, well, you're going to think about it while we sing Al Shlosha Devarim. And you can sit if you'd like, if it's too much. You don't have to stand, I'm sorry. And you're going to hold up 3 fingers, any 3 fingers. Yeah, right here with you, my friends. All right. Do you know why? The world stands on 3 things, and if we remember that during this crazy time period, on Torah, on hard work, and acts of loving kindness, well, we're going to get through this. And we're singing a Rick Rex version, sir. I love it. Al Shlosha, Shlosha Devarim. Al Shlosha Devarim. Al Shlosha.
Al Shlosha, Shlosha Devarim.
Ha'olam, ha'olam omed. Ha'olam, ha'olam omed. Where are those 3 fingers? I need to see them. Yes. Al ha'torah, ve'al ha'avoda, ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al ha'torah, ve'al ha'avoda, ve'al gemilut chasadim. On 3 things, on 3 things, on 3 things, on 3 things, the world stands. Al Shlosha,
Al Shlosha, Shlosha Devarim.
Ha'olam, ha'olam omed. Ha'olam, ha'olam omed. Beautiful. Rock and roll.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. So, Miss Hazel, can I ask you please to come up and give us a help? We have some seasoned religious school students here. And Hazel and Jewel are going to stand in front of us because, right there on the stairs, please, because you are going to show us the sign language for Shema. Right? So, while we get ready to sing the Shema, we're saying that God is how many? One. We have one God. It's a big prayer. It's an important one. So, we generally stand in our place and we try to get into the right mood in our head. Maybe we're thinking about our week at school or our week at work, and we're not thinking about the Shema. So as you take a moment and get ready to stand for the Shema, listen to these words by Cantor Jeff Klepper, who helps us to get into the mood to sing Shema. And when you hear us start singing Shema, please rise. Right? Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Yes, we will know that you are one. Please rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai
Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael
Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu
Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kivod
Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Shem Kivod
Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Right? Thank you. You may be seated. Sit down. Sing Shabbat Shalom later, okay? Okay, so you guys are going to help me with Ve'ahavta? Yeah. Okay, so why don't you go stand right there so everybody can see you. That's cool. Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. You got this life to live.
Live it.
You got so much to give.
Give it.
You got this time to share.
Share
You
it.
got a smile to wear.
Wear
You
it.
got this heart to love.
Love
You
it.
got to rise above it. You got so much to say.
Say
You
it.
gotta love somebody like you love yourself. Singing Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. You got so much to learn.
Learn
You
it.
got respect to earn.
Earn
You
it.
got to live your dream.
Dream
You
it.
got this song to sing.
Sing
You
it.
got a job to do.
Do
You
it.
got a point of view.
View
You
it.
got to do the work. Work it. You gotta love somebody like you love yourself. Singing Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. You gotta love somebody like you love yourself. Love
Somebody like you love yourself.
Love somebody like you love yourself. Love somebody like you love yourself. You gotta love somebody like you love yourself.
Love somebody like you love
You
yourself.
gotta love somebody like you love yourself.
Love somebody like you love yourself.
Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Yes. So some ways that we can celebrate Simchat Torah. You can reread a favorite book to show that you're learning. You could wave a flag. Who made flags? Yes! beautiful flag, dude. You can make a special treat, like maybe an edible Torah after our service. You can dance. It's already happening, left and right. You can finish a project. We all start projects. We don't finish them. I love your flag. You'll finish it later, and then you'll finish a project. You can explore the Torah. Some of our students in here are exploring the Torah. You can write a poem in celebration of Simchat Torah. I know Cantor goes to his cantorial suite and he writes poetry. I'm just kidding. He doesn't.
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's it. It's not my office. The cantorial suite. Says it on the door.
All of my new students,
Hi there.
please come
How
up
you doing,
to
Aiden?
the stairs of the Bima.
Okay.
New students.
And Aiden. My man, Rusty. How you doing, man?
Yes. Yes, please, everybody, we need to take pictures here.
You're right,
This is
you're
the
right.
cutest thing in the world. Look at this crew. Look at how amazing this crew is. Yes.
Oh, I'm going to get out of the picture. I'm like photobombing them.
You should photobomb, sir. Get in there.
Yeah?
You're official.
All right, I'll be in there with them.
Yes. Okay, girls, get ready. You're going to sit right there for me.
I'm new.
That's all right.
So,
Old.
while you guys are taking beautiful pictures and I have our students captive somewhat, I want to talk about why we connect Simchat Torah and consecration at the same time. Now, something beautiful that we do at Temple Bethel is this might not be your first Jewish learning. Maybe you were somewhere else. But you started here. And so we celebrate you. Because you are making our synagogue a better place because you're in it.
That's
All right,
right.
I'm not crying. No?
Flag really quickly.
You go get your flag really quickly.
No, it's not.
So, just now, last week, we celebrated Sukkot, and that means shelter. Sukkot Shalom is a shelter of peace. And by bringing in new students, 18 of them so far this year, we are going to create a shelter of peace for all of us. And it's so important, and you'll hear me say this over and over and over again during Sunday school, because we're all going to be besties. Period.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, before you get your little treats, right?
Yeah.
This is for you. Everybody gets an official certificate. I love certificates. Right? I knew you love certificates.
I love certificates. You're hanging on your wall, Rusty. Put it right up there, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
You
Yeah.
too, Don. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Why?
Always.
And so? So? And so? And now? So?
Well, you know what? That's
What?
a good question. The truth is, you guys work your way through our scholarship. It could turn into a scholarship one day.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you.
If you
I just am,
continue
you
your
know.
Jewish education through confirmation, guys,
What can I say?
we
Life is
offer a
crazy.
very healthy scholarship
Yeah.
to go to Israel.
I'm glad you sent Rusty to us on Sunday.
So a
And you know, he's funny. I never knew he was so funny. He cracked me up. He had a good time. He was like that? Oh, okay. I never saw that. I never saw that. Well,
I sent him. He was very happy. Getting the car. He was
realize.
singing. He was having
it cracks me up.
you know what? Today, this little tiny, you know,
It's for you too.
was good
Good,
for
good,
me.
good, good, good. Yeah.
I'm so happy I switched. to
Good,
him.
good.
I knew. When
In your heart.
I knew. When I started.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. They're all Kindle. Nope. Especially what we can do with them. I have a friend of mine, Alex, he kind of worked in that industry.
Okay.
I'm going to ask her. So, this is all Russ's books.
All right. Time to show.
About everything.
Some are antiques, some are already. Some are antiques.
Really?
Yeah, somebody coming in.
I'll ask her. She ran a bookstore. She knows she would get rare books and honestly, I don't know. Yeah. I'll put you in contact with her. Yes, sir.
So,
Okay. So now, boys and girls, take your Torahs and hold them up in the air. And I'd like you to march around the sanctuary. Yeah,
I can look
it is.
it up. I'll go look it up.
It's a real Torah.
I have to.
And we're marching. It is a tree of life to them that'll fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that'll fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. You may be seated with your families. You may be seated. Okay. So Cantor is going to read for us the last sentence of the Torah and the first sentence of the Torah. So boys and girls, listen very quietly so you can hear Cantor do the chanting.
I'll do the last 3 verses.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are the last 3 verses in the whole Torah. And what it is, these are the speeches of Moses. He actually sang. He sang to the Jewish people. Okay? So here's what he said. Oh, he didn't say this. Here's what it says. V'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael k'Moshe asher yadu Adonai panim el panim l'kol otot v'hamoftim asher shalchu Adonai lasod beretz Mitzrayim לפרעה ולכל עבדיו ולכל ארצו ולכל היד החזקה ולכל המורה הגדול אשר עשה משה לעיני כל ישראל. All right, so never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom God singled out face to face for the various signs and portents that the Eternal sent to him to display in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and all his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all of Israel.
All right.
There's the end. All right, you want to go to the beginning?
Yeah, I'll do a beginning.
All right.
I was just going to do a sentence.
We can do the whole thing.
No way.
Day 1.
No, I'm just going to do a sentence.
Okay, Bereshit, Bara. Oh, here.
Noah.
No, you're getting there.
There it is. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayita tohu vavohu ve'choshech al penei techom ve'ruach Elohim merchefet al penei hamayim. So when God was about to create heaven and earth, the earth was a chaos, unformed, and on the chaotic water's face, there was darkness. Then God's Spirit glided over the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light.
Beautiful.
Amen.
Beautiful.
So we got a little taste of that. Thank you, Cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then when we finish, we say, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitz chazek. Be strong, and have courage. Pretty neat. And so we're going to conclude today. One thing I'd like to do is I don't preach. I practice what I preach. And sometimes out of my comfort zone is learning new music. So I would like to share with you a new song to me by Alana Jacoda. And it's scary learning new stuff. Oh, huh? Oh, jeez. Thank you. Amen, my friend. Go get my water. Oh, say shalom, yes, Joel. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, bimromav. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom, bimromav. Bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat Shalom. And this song will pop in your head in probably about 2 hours from now, and you're going to be thinking dirty thoughts about me. But it's so good. Yes, ma'am. Oh, and Sharon would like to make some announcements.
I have very special announcements to make to this group.
Well, will you tell everybody that we're making Torahs in the rotunda?
You can do that.
We're making Torahs in the rotunda to eat.
Yay!
So you'll make them and you can take them with you to eat.
Okay, so Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Chag Sameach. I asked Miss Barb for permission to make the announcements. I want to thank her. I want to thank Cantor Manny for a really nice service tonight for Simchat Torah. Yay! And we thank them for the good start that we're off to at JLC. I also want to remind everybody that Brotherhood is doing a bicycle ride on Sunday morning at 8:30 for any of you who want to participate. It's for everybody. And JLC will meet at 9:30, of course, followed by Bet Youth. And the last thing I want to remind you all, 2 weeks from tonight, right, on the 15th, is a family Shabbat. So we're going to do it like we did it last month. We're going to have some dinner ahead of time, and then we're going to come for a family Shabbat, and everybody is welcome. Bring your friends. Bring everybody. Shabbat Shalom, all.
Shabbat Shalom. Let's go read Torah.
Barb, you need your phone?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Rich, we'll do lie, 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 lie. Hello there, Scott. Yep. All right, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, we're about to begin. All right, Shabbat Shalom. The rabbi is away in North Carolina this week. He left me instructions before he left. Don't be too good. That's what he told me. Everybody, let's take our seats, please. Let's take our seats, please. Well, we're going to start. We're going to start with a nigun. This is a beautiful melody by Shlomo Carlebach. Here we go. La 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 la. Lie, 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 la 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 I don't hear anybody singing with me. There you go. Thank you, Damon. Thank you. One more time. La 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 because of my brothers and friends, because of my sisters and friends, please let me ask, please let me sing, peace to you. La 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 la. La 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 la. This is the house of the Lord. We wish the best for you. This is the house of the Lord. We wish the best for you. La 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 la. Now that was beautiful. As I said a few moments ago, the rabbi is away this week. He has a few days of deserved vacation. I believe he's in North Carolina, and he left me instructions, don't be too good. And I always live up to those instructions. Okay. Oh, thank you, Don. You're a very nice guy. Okay, so let's turn to page 120 for our lighting of the candles. Who wants to do the lighting of the candles? Sharon, you want to do it? Come on up.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't want to walk? All right, it's going. Sharon, how about you come up? Come on, Sharon. I have to tell you about my friend Sharon. This will amaze you. Sharon and I grew up in the same area, Philadelphia, Northwest Philadelphia, and she lived on the street where I delivered newspapers. In 7th grade and 8th grade, I delivered her family the newspapers. And I used to walk down the street singing at 5 o'clock in the morning. So she heard me then and she hears me now. Huh? Oh, they were great tippers. 920 Sharpneck Street. Okay.
What was the name of the paper?
Philadelphia Inquirer.
All right.
Philadelphia Inquirer, the morning paper.
We had an afternoon one, a bulletin.
Yeah, but I delivered the Inquirer. And Sharon went to Germantown High, where my dad was an English teacher.
Oh.
So how about that, huh? So we go way back. So Sharon, here's your... And we meet up again at Temple Bethel. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Sharon, here, you can say it in the mic.
Okay.
You want to come over here? Come around here.
Okay.
You want to say the blessing? Baruch atah Adonai?
So you, for the candles?
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay. All right, she knows it by heart.
Yeah, I know it by heart. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvah tov, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Sang like a girl from Philadelphia.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay.
Baruch atah. We'll do the Kiddush. We'll go right to the Kiddush. All right. Frank, come on up. You do the Kiddush for us. This is our friend Frank. And we're glad Frank is here with us with his parents tonight. All right, Frank, here you want to read a little bit of the English? Want to read that?
Sure.
The heaven and the earth? See it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll read that. The heaven and the earth were
Here, go on the mic. We need the mic.
The heaven and the earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done.
Okay,
and
next.
God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Beautiful, Frank. Baruch.
Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei pri hagolfen.
Beautiful. Jazz. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Jazz Kiddush, everybody. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, Shabbat kadsho b'yahava b'ratzon hinkin lanu, Zikaron l'maaseh Breshit, Ki hu yom tekilah mikra'ei kodesh, Zeker letziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'akarta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, V'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Time, everybody. What a job. Yeah. I'm a lucky guy. And I know it. So I joke around, but I am a lucky guy. Very lucky to be doing what I do, and I love what I do, and this is a great, great congregation. And every time we walk in here, we know it, and we feel it. Right?
That's right.
So let's turn to page 128, everybody. We're going to welcome the Shabbat with Psalm 133, written by King David over 3,000 years ago. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together in peace. We're working at it. You want to put your arms around each other, sway back and forth? It's a nice thing to do. Here we go. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We need everybody clapping. Everybody, come on. Hine, hine, hine. Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine, hine, hine. Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine 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 matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Let's keep it going. Hine, hine, hine. Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. You are hired. Hine, hine, hine. You're doing a nice job. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Melody number 3. They used to dance to this on the kibbutz. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. On page 130, we have Psalm 95. And just for your information, a little educational information, there are these Psalms that welcome Shabbat every week around the world. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 29. So what we do, we pick one of those Psalms and we sing a little melody. We're going to do Psalm 95, Lechu Neranana. All right? Translation is on bottom of 130. Lechu Neranana, Lechu Neranana, Lechu Neranana l'Adonai. Lechu Neranana, Lechu Neranana, Lechu Neranana l'Adonai. Nariya, litzor yishenu, mikad mafanav betodah. Nariya, Nariya, Litzur Yishenu, Bizmirot Nariya Lo, Lekuneranina, 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 Ladonai, Lekuneranina, 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 Ladonai. Page 138, Lachadodi. And if you look at the bottom of the page, a little footnote at the bottom, this poem was composed by Shlomo Halevi Alkabet. He lived in the 16th century, and he was a Kabbalah master, and he lived up in Tzfat, in the north of Israel. The first verses, if you look at them, the first 8 verses spell out his name. The first one begins with a shin, then a lamed, then a mem, then a hey, a lamed, a vav, and a yud. Shlomo Halevi. So he was from the tribe of Levi. So this goes back 500 years, and it's sung around the world to welcome Shabbat. Ay, ay, ay. We're going to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 b'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 ikabla. Shamor b'zakor b'dibor ekad. Ishmeanu el hamiyukad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemu tiferet v'letehila. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 p'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nikabla. Likrat Shabbat lekum v'nelka. Ki mikor habraka. Merosh mikedem nesuka. Sof ma'aseh makshava tequila. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Don't be afraid to sing out. Likrat kalam. Ay, 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 b'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nikabla. Itoreri, itoreri. Kiva horech kumiori. Uri, uri, shir daberi. Kavod Adonai, Allah yiknigla. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 b'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nikabla. We stand for the last verse. Verse number 9. And we welcome the Shabbat bride. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola. Tokemune am segula. Bo'i chala, bo'i kalam. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 b'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nikabla. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Ay, ay, We'll continue on 144 with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah. Yamadi Barakarute, Yamlik Makute, Bekayekon, Uvyomekon, Ukayedeko Beit Yisrael. Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Karivimeru.
Amen.
Yeshmei Rabba Mevarach, Le'olam Olam Me'amaya. Yitbarak, Vishtabak, Vitpahar, Vitroma, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei Kudisha, Le'ela Min Koberchata, Veshirata, Tushbekata, Benekemata, Damiran Biyama, Vimru. Amen. We rise for the Baruch Hu. Page 146. Lai, 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 lai. 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 Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Bareku et Adonai Amevorach. Bareku et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach le'olam vahed. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach le'olam vahed. Lai, 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 lai. 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 Okay, please be seated. You know, there are so many beautiful readings and poems in this prayer book. A lot of times we skip right over them. So I think tonight I'm going to try to find some ones that we don't usually say. And we'll start in that vein on page 147. 147 at the top of the page. Let's read this together. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Scott, you're on. You can pick whatever you'd like to lead us in.
Sure. 149.
Okay.
Bottom. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back our crossover? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch
atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Okay, let's go to 150, 151. You can pick one, Scott.
Let's go with everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We rise for the Shema on page 152. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto Le'olam Va'ed.
No, can I tell you?
Sure.
I was driving. I guess
Please be seated.
I was just driving the other day, and I was feeling impatient, and I wanted to pass all these cars, and I knew that I was on the road. I wasn't on the interstate, and I don't know. I was feeling so impatient, but it just came up with me to sing the Shema, and it just calmed me right down, and
Wow.
I was fine again.
I wish more people were saying the Shema, especially on I-95. But that's a good thing. That's a great thing.
It just came up with me.
Wow. Well, that's a nice thing. Yeah, we can get caught up in the moment. You have to stop yourself.
Right. I said, just bring me back down, man.
Yeah. That's a nice little,
Thanks.
that's a good thing. Yeah, the Shema, Funny, I had a little girl in our congregation a few years back. She was waiting all week to ask me a question, her mother told me. And she saw me on Sunday morning at Sunday school. And the mother brought her up to me. She said, she's been waiting all week. She wanted to ask you a question. And the mother said, okay, you can ask him now. Are you going to ask Cantor Manny now? I said, okay, come on. She came into my office, and I said, what's your question? She said, do you say the Shema before you go to bed at night? That was her question. And I said, yes, I do. And I said, I remember when I was about 4 years old, a little about your age. I said, my mother used to sit there and wait for me and my twin brother to sing the Shema. And she would make us sing it every night, and then the lights would go out. We'd have to go to bed. But that stayed with me, and if it's a nice thing. If you say the Shema every night, you go to bed in a peaceful way. And you know that, we're not in charge here. There's a greater power that's watching over us and directing everything. Right? There was something we saw something yesterday in the Thursday morning minyan. We sit there, we have a nice time, we go over our prayers, but then we're reading in the prayer book. There was a line in there. Remember that line yesterday, Barb said, it was from Pirkei Avot, the sayings of the fathers from the Talmud. It said, all is foreseen. Wait a minute. All is foreseen, but you have free choice. Yeah, that's the irony of life. That somehow what's supposed to be in our life is kind of planned, and yet we have free choice. And these are things to think about, We don't know. I know my favorite character in the Bible, Joseph, and we'll be reading his story in a few weeks. He had unbelievable things happen to him in his life. I mean, he was despised by his brothers because he was his father's favorite. They left him in a pit to be taken into slavery in Egypt. And then the father thought he was dead. They never told the father. Then he goes into Egypt, and there was a beautiful woman who was very attracted to him. He was a very handsome guy, and he wore makeup, by the way. I don't know why I said that. And he wouldn't give in to her seductive pleas. And so she said, well, he raped me. Then he was put in prison. And then his skill as a dream interpreter came out. He was great. He had dreams all the time, and he can interpret them. And the Pharaoh got word of this. So he was taken to the Pharaoh to interpret dreams. And he did. And then, next thing you know, they made him in charge of all the food distribution in Egypt. He became the second in command in Egypt. And then his brothers came down from Israel because there was a famine there. And here he is, years later, and they didn't know it was him. And his brothers were standing there with him. And he told everyone to go away, and he was in there alone with his brothers. And he told them, I am Joseph, your brother. Can you imagine the shock? Can you imagine the shock? And it says in the Torah that you could hear the wailing, the crying for a long period away. They thought he was going to exact revenge on them. And he didn't want revenge. He did not want revenge. And then what I liked about him, he forgave his brothers, and he said that everything that happened in his life was planned by God. That was his belief. Everything that happened in his life was planned by God for him to grow and to become the person he was meant to be. I think that's true for most of us. Everything we go through is somehow planned for us. I don't know. We have questions about this, but I think we go through things to teach us and to learn. We try to make sense of it, right?
Sure.
That's I don't have any answers. I'm a work in progress like everybody else. That's it. We're just trying to do the best we can. But that's it. All right, so after the Shema, we chant to be a Haftah. Tonight, we'll read it in English. This is right out of the Torah, right out of the Torah. These words are in the Torah. So let's read on page 155, okay? 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you're rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They're reminders to all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Okay. Let's read page 157 at the bottom of the page. I don't remember saying this beautiful prayer, so we're picking out different ones tonight. Page 157 at the bottom. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei fele, Nora tehilot, Osei fele. Malkut tekara uvaneka, Bokeya yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osef ele nora tehilot, Osef ele. Page 161 at the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions,
to live with hope in our hearts and
eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, aporei Sukkot Shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Vishamru, Dallas, you want to come up? Dallas is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Dallas. Yeah, you get a round of applause, Dallas. All right. Vishamru, you're going to help us. Turn around, Dallas, so everyone can see you. We're going to act it out. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael oti li'olam. Right up to the sky. Oti li'olam. Oti li'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. All right, Dallas, 6 days. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. But on the 7th day, uvayom ha-shivyi, Shabbat vayinafash, God rested. Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Thank you, Dallas. And thank you to all our children who stood up with Dallas. Okay. We are going to turn. We're going to rise for the tefillah. We're going to start on page 164 with our favorite song. Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tiftach. Ananananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tiftach. Ananananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tiftach. Ananananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehillateka. Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana svatai tiftach. Ananananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehillateka. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rakel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei HaKol V'zoker Kazdei Avot V'imot U'mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mekayem Etim Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem Mekakel Kayim Bekesed Mekayem Etim Berakamim Rabbim Somek Noflim Berofek Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei Ahafad Mikamoka Ba'al Gevurot Umido Mehelak Melek Meimit Umekaye Umatzmiak Yeshua Ne'emana tarakayot meitim Baruch atah Adonai Mekayei ha-meitim. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. Okay. Let's go somewhere we've never gone in this prayer book. Let's see what we can find that's a little different. You know what? There's a nice reading at the top of the page, 171. Let's read that. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. That's a nice reading. That's a beautiful, beautiful reading. Okay, let's continue. Scott, pick one. Pick one you want to do.
Let's see. All right. What about 175?
175.
Bottom paragraph.
Okay.
You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai.
She'otcha levadcha b'yara na'avod. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Let's continue on 177 at the top, everybody. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lahodot. It's good to be grateful, right? It's good to be grateful for things we might take for granted. We have to be grateful every day. You wake up, there's a lot to be grateful for. So I think that's the secret to, I think if you're grateful every day, you really can't fall into a depression type of mood. I mean, that's part of life, but if you think of all the things you have to be grateful for, it can help. It can really help. All right, so let's go to page 178. We'll sing our beautiful prayer for peace, Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adon, lekol hashalom. Ki ata melech Adon, lekol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'kol heit u'b'kol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Okay, well, what a week we've had, huh? I'll tell you something that's been on my mind for a few days. I saw the other day on TV the parents of this Marine who's been a Marine for 17 years, and he's in solitary confinement now because he criticized the bungled withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, I was never in the service. I wish I had been. I know we have people who served our country here, and we salute you. That's a great thing. And I know he didn't do the right thing according to the military code, but I don't think he belongs in solitary confinement. I think that's pretty harsh. And it just got me thinking, about different things I've done. I did a funeral. I conducted a funeral maybe 2 years ago up at the new military cemetery up in Lantana, up in northern Palm Beach County. And if you've ever been to a funeral in a military cemetery, they run like clockwork. They tell you this is the time you have to be there, and they have the lane where you drive in, and they were expecting me, that I was conducting the funeral for my friend. And we got there, and the woman who ran these things at the cemetery, she was in charge. It ran like clockwork. I was talking with her while we were waiting, and I said to her, boy, I bet you're getting a lot of funerals these days, for those wonderful men and women who served in World War II, Korea, things like that. And she said to me, she said, oh no, I'm getting more funerals from the troops who served in Iraq. She said, these guys are committing suicide. And she told me she had 30 funerals the previous month of young guys that had committed suicide after being in Iraq. And it just, boy, to think about that, what these guys go through. And, just made me think. And I've just been thinking about it for a few days. And I've been blessed in our temple to know there's a lot of guys out here tonight who served in the military. And we had some great heroes in this congregation. I had a friend of mine, Mo Klein, who Sharon was from Philadelphia, and he went to Central High, like I did. And he was like number 3 in the country in terms of bombing missions flown over Nazi Germany. I think he flew like 53 bombing missions over Nazi Germany. And usually when you flew 10, they wouldn't let you go up anymore. And the chances of surviving went down with each time you went up. And he was determined. He said, no, we have to defeat the Nazis. He flew 53 bombing missions over Nazi Germany. So I knew Mo, and I know Audrey Efros, his husband, our friend Audrey. He was a 18-year-old kid, and he was fighting at D-Day in the plains. And his plane got shot down. 18 years old, he was at D-Day. And I had another friend here, Dr. Maury, who fought at D-Day. He was at D-Day. So we've had all kinds of heroes. And, we know the guys back there. Chuck was a war hero in Korea, and Lefty was in. And we know our friend Stan and Mr. Schwartz, all of you guys. So I don't know. I just think we got to think what's going on. I don't know from a military standpoint what the right thing to do to this Marine is. But I just don't think he belongs in solitary confinement. I think that's really harsh. And, of course, he has to be, you have to do the right thing. We can't just have everybody doing anything. But I just hope that can be taken care of in a nice way. And, when you think about it these days, I mean, my father's generation, these guys fought in World War II. And they went. A lot of Jewish guys went. They were fighting. But nowadays, when it's an all-volunteer military, most Jewish guys are not apt to go in the military. Well, it's funny. And funny isn't the word. We had a guy who's one of our newest temple member, and I got to know him in this past week. He came to services during the high holidays. He kind of checked us out. He liked our services, and he came up to me, and I got to know him a little bit. And he has a daughter who's going to become a bat mitzvah next year, and he said, I want you to teach my daughter. And this guy told me, I don't know how right away he told me, he said, I'm a graduate of West Point. And I said, wow. He graduated West Point. And he was talking to me about it. And I said, well, what was it like up there? How many Jewish guys were there? And he told me there was 4,000 cadets at West Point when he went there, and 1% were Jewish. There were 40 Jewish cadets. And he told me, he said he was there in the mid-1980s when they introduced the chapel. They built a chapel for the Jewish cadets. And he said nearly all the Jewish guys went to services on Friday night. And he said they all knew each other. He said every Jewish guy at West Point knew each other. So, interesting, how he did this. So, I just think we owe our vets a great deal of gratitude. And hopefully on a bigger scale, we won't get involved in these seamlessly long, pointless wars after a while. You wonder what's going on here. And we just want everybody to live in peace, but we have to honor these people. That's my little spiel for tonight. Okay. All right. And I have some good news. I have good news, everybody. This may come as a shock to some of our temple executives, not to Scott, because I was in touch with him. Just in this past week, we've been trying to plan some programs, for the coming year. We want this COVID thing to be done with. We want to get on with life. We have to be careful, of course, but we're hopeful that soon we can get back to good things and normal things. So we have arranged, we're going to have a jazz night here on January 15th. And my friend Richie is one of the greatest musicians down here, and he's played for years with all the top musicians in South Florida. So I said, Richie, get the best guys you can. He's bringing in a drummer who is out of this world, and I did a show with him years ago. This guy played for Sammy Davis, and he was Frankie Avalon's drummer, believe it or not. He used to tour around with Frankie Avalon. He's a great drummer. So we're bringing him in. We're bringing in a great bass player. Richie's going to play jazz on the piano, and we're going to have a guitarist. So we're going to do a lot of jazz on January 15th. I think we're going to turn the ballroom into like a nightclub, right?
That's right.
So we'll have booze, we'll have food. Entertainment. Yeah, and it'll be Manny's Boom Boom Room. How's that?
I like that.
Yeah, we'll just put it up there. So we're looking for, we want it to happen. I mean, it's 4 months away, right? Hopefully we can come out and have a great time. I mean, one of the things we're missing here is camaraderie. We want to be with each other. We want to enjoy each other's company. And if we can have some nice music, and, so for the last few days, I've been listening to different songs I want to do and getting some sheet music together, some arrangements. Richie's going to do some arrangements for us. So that's going to be January 15th. And then on top of that, I was in contact this week with Dr. Nelson Hall, who is the leader of the choir from the college out in Miami Gardens. What do they call that? It's a small black school. It's Florida something University. It's not FIU. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Huh? Yeah. Memorial? I think that's it. I think it's Florida. Yeah, Florida Memorial University. Yeah. So he's a wonderful. They were here. We had a gospel night about a month before this whole COVID thing started. In February of 2020, we had gospel night here. That was one of the greatest nights we have ever had at this temple. The people that were here loved it. And this choir, oh my God, were they great. And Frank, you brought me the idea. So I thank you for doing that. And I got in touch with Dr. Hall. And he's just a great, great guy, great musician. And so we decided this year Scott had the idea, we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to make it into a Saturday night event instead of a Friday night service. So we're going to have gospel night.
Right.
All right?
Should be great. I mean, Friday night was fantastic, but now it's going to be open. You got to be able to get up, move around,
dance,
yeah, and listen to some of your favorite gospel music and and groove to the beat.
Yep. So Dr. Hall okayed it. We're going to have that February 26th. So that will be 6 weeks after January 15th, and then I think in March we're going to have our temple gala, right?
Right.
Honoring the rabbi, right? So we got things to look forward to. And now that the high holidays are over, and actually, the high holiday season ended with the seventh day of Sukkot is a holiday known as Hoshana Rabbah. Most people don't even think, you don't hear too much about that. But Hoshana Rabbah is the seventh day of Sukkot, and that is the day when the book of what's going to happen in the coming year is supposedly closed. It's not Yom Kippur. It's on Hoshana Rabbah. So that really ends the high holidays. And in a more traditional synagogue, the cantor comes out wearing white on Hoshana Rabbah, and that's the end of the high holidays. So the high holidays take a lot out of you. It's tough to examine your life and really think about what you want to do and where you've been, where you're going. And it's not easy. So Hoshana Rabbah has come and gone. The holidays are over. And now we're looking forward. And next week, I think here, when we read this week we start the Torah over again. Right? Tomorrow we begin with the first portion in the Torah, Genesis, the creation of the world. And the second portion is the story of Noah and the flood. So when we do that every year, we started a tradition years ago where the kids in school bring their animals, and we bless the pets. I think that's a nice thing to do.
When are we going to do that? What day?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
So if you have a pet, bring them.
bring them down. If you don't have one, go adopt one and bring them down.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to get all, we get a lot of cats and dogs and some snakes. We have a lot of iguanas out here.
But we don't bless them.
No, we do not bless the iguanas. Okay. I think we had some company come out and take care of these iguanas this week, right?
They're being taken care of.
We have so many iguanas. We have like an iguana explosion, right? All right. Anyway, that's that. So we have exciting things coming up. We're going to turn to page 371, a prayer for healing, Mishaberach, and I'm going to start off by saying a few names. We want to say a prayer for Connie Mayer, our friend Phyllis Cohen. Oh boy, Phyllis used to come every week. And Selma Nichols. Those of you who know Selma, Selma is an amazing lady. Selma is 102 years young. She is a spark plug. And, she's doing great. And just in the last week or so, things have changed for her. So we hope Selma's okay. Selma's at home, but things are changing with her. So we're going to pray for Selma. And we're also going to add Hudson Dome, a young man I know who had a very, very serious boat accident, but he's doing remarkably well. Barbara, your brother? Barry Meyerson, right, over in Tampa. I'll get you in a minute. We're going to say a prayer for my friend Bracha Goffer. And my sister's having an operation on Tuesday. Never had an operation in her life. And she's having a brain operation on Tuesday. So hope she's okay. Go ahead, Frank. Okay, anyone else? In the back, Don. Okay, Mark. Okay, over here. Anybody? Yes. Okay. All right. In the back, anybody? Betty will say we're going to say Mr. Barak for Betty. Yeah. Betty Glazer, our friend Betty. Anyone else? We get everybody? Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon.
Oh my God, how could we forget Sharon?
And of course, then D.
Huh?
And
D. These ladies work so hard on the high holidays that... Yes. Sharon and Dee, I apologize. I'm sorry about that. We pray for you. All right, so let's envision good health for all these people. You have good health, you got it all. You're really blessed. Okay, page 371. Misheberak avotenu mekor habraka leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberak imotenu mikor habraka lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. The concluding prayers begin with the Aleinu. On page 586, everybody, we rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tek gedula le'yotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei aratzot, velo samanu kemishbakot hadamam, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kekol hamonam, va'anaknu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Scott, you have any other announcements that we need to make for tonight?
If you make them fast. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oh, that's good. So tonight our flowers and the music and the Oneg to Go is sponsored by Sisterhood, so thank you to Sisterhood. And don't forget, you could call up the office if you like to sponsor Richard. Or
You're getting formal, huh?
yes, or Sir Cantor Manny.
Okay.
And flowers or the Oneg to Go. Call up the office. You know, you have someone who has a birthday or an anniversary coming up, or just for the heck of it. Call the front office and say you'd like to sponsor one of those things. So tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. we have Torah study. And that's followed by Shabbat morning service on Zoom. Now Sunday at 8:30, the Brotherhood is going to have their bikers again, and these are just the regular chain gang, not motors. So they're going to meet here at the front of Temple Bethel. They're going to ride around the lakes area. And, of course, when they come back, you get a few bagels and some coffee. So it's a very nice thing to do. And, hey, it's nice just to be with some of the guys. And you don't have to be a guy. So you could just come out. On Sunday as well at 9:30, we have a JLC for pre-K and up. And that's followed by the Bet Youth Group. And there's lunch and there's fun activities for all JLC students. And 2 weeks from now, October 15th, we again will have our family Shabbat dinner, and that's around 6 o'clock in the evening. So again, that's October 15th. Get something to eat, bring your family. For the young families, come on, bring your children, bring some friends. It's a lot of fun. Monday at 7 o'clock in the evening, we have Women's Spirituality Group, and that's on Zoom. And Tuesday, we keep going with everything you always wanted to know about Judaism, and that's with Al Cantamani, and that's on Zoom. Thursday, do we have a mini this Thursday? Are you taking that?
The rabbi will be back.
Oh, okay,
Rabbi
great.
will be back.
Rabbi's back. So Thursday at 9 a.m., we have our morning minyan, and again, more bagels and coffee. And next Friday, we continue with our Shabbat services. That's at 7 o'clock. Hold on. And Wednesday, October 13th, we have Adult Ed, Lifelong Learning Program, and that's on Zoom. And that's about Jews of Florida, centuries of stories. So these are Jewish pioneers who impacted Florida's history, beginning over 250 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, so there's something not to miss. Again, you don't have to miss it because it's on Zoom. And but just to register in advance, just call the front office. And that's free to everyone and the community, so spread the word to your friends on that. Of course, we're still doing masks at the temple inside the building. And as always, visit Trending to get more information. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, I'm just going to say the names of the people who are having birthdays this week. Harriet Lawnshine. Boy, she's a nice lady. From Aventura, Harriet. Andrew Hausman. Our friend Marilyn Adani, who joins us every Tuesday night. It's her birthday. Desiree Israel, Eric Forden, Nancy Shamides, Mitchell Fox, Matthew Fox, Francine. Happy birthday. Okay. Francine Solomon, Rhoda Kurzman, happy birthday. And this week, the anniversary of Sammy and Silas Hoover. And I taught 2 of their children already, and the 3rd one's coming up. And the mother already apologized in advance to me. She did. But I get along with all these kids. So I said, that's fine with me. I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy everything about it. All right. We'll conclude with the Mourner's Kaddish. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Okay, this week we are commemorating the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Isidore Bornstein, Ellsworth Cohen, Louis Davis, Evelyn Davis, Rose Epstein, Mabel Frank, Emma Gelman, Marvin Gerstmann, Jack Goldman, Harriet Goldstein, Edna Greenberg, Francis Gruder, Harold Gusdorf, Sanford Himes, Pauline Horn, Rosalind Hausman, Walter Jacobs, Louis Kay, Natalie Kaminsky, Gerald Lebo, Daniel Lefcourt, Harry Lieblich, Sam Lasansky, Myron Lipman, Edward May, Edward Meislick, Jeanette Munter, Kate Rosenberg, Judy Rudnitsky. You know, sometimes you see a name on here. Judy Rudnitsky was my cousin. She was my mother's first cousin, and I never knew her till I moved to Florida, and she treated me like I was her son. And I used to go over and study music with her every Friday afternoon for about 10 years because I was lacking in formal music education. I grew up singing on the street corners, and I sang in nightclubs and hotels, but I needed the formal music education to pass my tests to be in the Cantors Assembly, so I would study music theory with Judy every Friday, and I would study piano with her too. Nicer lady I never met, Judy Rudnitsky. Julia Seelinger, Robert Silverstone, Robert Spiewak, Phyllis Stark, Ann Torkin, Joseph Underdorfer, Mikhail Wasserman, Sam Weinstein, Emmanuel Walworth, Abe Zebar. We are in the Shloshim period, the 30-day mourning period for Marilyn Gruder, who is a woman, maybe, I don't know if too many of you knew her, but Marilyn was a member of our temple. She would come here on Friday night, and I got to know her, and this was as fine a lady as you could meet. I mean, I will miss seeing Marilyn here on Friday nights. I would always go over and say hi to her in the oneg afterwards. And hopefully we'll have oneg soon again, so we can sit around and talk and enjoy each other's company. We're also in a Shloshim period for Russell Dallin Jr., who is an interesting guy. And he was the father of a boy who I'm teaching for bar mitzvah now. So you never know. Russell Dallin Jr. was a Jew from Mississippi, born in Mississippi, and then he was a graduate of Oxford. And then he became the editor of a big newspaper in Venezuela. And when Chavez got in, he had to get out. So he had an interesting life, and he died a young man. Nice man. Lee Provder, Dr. Lee Provder. And to the Provders, what can we say? Our hearts are with you, and we're glad you're with us tonight. We can't understand these things. Suddenly, your life is gone, and, you know, you're on to the next world, to Olam Haba. But our hearts are with you. So this is Dr. Lee Provder. We're saying we're in the Shloshim mourning period for him. And Stephen Mintz, okay? And you know what? This week was, the rabbi spoke about it the other day at our services during the week, you know, for the holiday. This was the 80th anniversary this week of the massacre at Babi Yar. I don't know how many of you have read about Babi Yar. And Babi Yar was right outside of Kiev. And my father used to talk about this to us when we were little kids, because his mother was from Kiev, right outside Kiev. And the massacre at Babi Yar, 40,000 people were killed, were shot to death in 2 days in the ravines. Yes, go ahead. Did you want to say something? No? No? Ruth, did you have your hand up? No? Okay. So Babi Yar is not as well known as some of the other gruesome sites like Auschwitz and, you know, Majdanek, because there's nothing there anymore. There's just pits there. Uh-oh.
It's like Connect. Open up the envelope.
Oh. It's like what?
Remember Johnny Carson?
Yeah, now I'm going to, yeah. Well, thank you for the envelope. Thank you. Thank you very much. So Babi Yar is where the 40,000 people were massacred in 2 days. You can't even imagine it. You try to think about this. What kind of people do this? Why would this, what would motivate people just to shoot 40,000 people and kill 40,000 people? and there's hardly any evidence of it. There's just nothing there anymore. And but it happened. It happened in 2 days, September 29th, September 30th, in 1941. 40,000 Jews were massacred at Babi Yar. And my father used to tell us, once in a while he would go into his little speeches. All our parents had their speeches, you know. And my father would go into a little speech sometimes, and he would say, "Do you know where my mother was from?" And he would say, "Do you know what they did to the Jews there?" And his mother was from right by Babi Yar. And then he would say, "Thank God you were born in this country." That's what my father used to tell us. Thank God you were born in this country. What happened in Babi Yar. So we remember. So, you know, when the rabbi was talking about it the other day, that's why if you come to a Reform synagogue, everybody says Kaddish. You go to an Orthodox or conservative synagogue, only the people that actually are mourning for their loved ones say Kaddish. We say it here because everybody says it because those people have no one to say it for them. And when we say the Kaddish, we believe that it elevates the soul in the world to come. Somehow, these prayers elevate the soul in the world to come. Okay, so...
I just also want to say
Yeah.
about Congregant Larry David. His mother passed away, 95 years of age.
Yeah.
So our condolences to him and his family.
And Janet. Janet Kropp, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't what was her name? It's Larry's... I had it written down. Well, okay.
What is it? Ellen? I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's on the email.
Okay. All right, so when we say the Kaddish, we're praying for the souls of these people. They moved on somehow in a way that I think is ultimately kind of beautiful, but it's hard for us to part with them from this earth. You know? It's the hardest thing we go through. So, we rise, we say the Kaddish, okay? Page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah. V'yamad ivrach kirutei v'yamlik malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yumechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. B'agala v'izman kari v'imromein. Yehei shmei rabah mavorach. Leolam olamei amayah. Yitbarak, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei d'kudusha b'richu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yama v'imromein, yehei shlom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'alkol Yisrael v'imromein, oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'alkol Yisrael v'imro amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You know, I just thought of something. You know, when we say this prayer every week, we just get used to, you know, the flow of the service. But when we say this prayer every week, it kind of instills in us the thought, you know, we don't like to think of it all the time, but we're only here for a limited period of time. And we don't know how long we have. So, while you're here, do something good, right? While you're here, do something good with your life. Help other people. Make a difference that you were here, that God gave you the gift of life, right? That's it. Okay, so, our final hymn tonight. Let's pick a good one. Let's see, Rich, what are we going to do? Adon Olam? Yeah, let's do Adon Olam. Anyone you want. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'kepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yakarei Kiklot HaKol Levado yimlok nora, vehu haya, vehu hove, vehu yiyeh, betifara, vehu echad, ve'ein sheni, leham shilo, lehakbira, Beli Reshit, Beli Taklit, Velo Haos, Ve'am Yisra, Ve'hu Eli, Ve'kai Goali, Ve'tzor Chevli, Ve'etzara, Ve'hu Nisi Umanosli, Menat Kosi, Beyom Ekra, Biado, Afkidruki, Beetishan, Beaira, Beimruki, Geviati, Adonai li, Beloira. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. That's an oldie but goodie for you. Oh, got us cut the challah. Dallas, I need your help. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. You get a big piece. You're a growing boy. Want another one? Okay. Oh, Richie's all right. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much. Well, I'm putting back away. I'm getting it. There you go. I'll be fine. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. We're praying for you. Thank you. Thank you. Good seeing you. Good. That's the way to have the attitude to have. Yeah. And watch it. Grill and they put a shunt and they drain. Yeah. We have to go for brain surgery probably. At least weird. The strange is because they don't put you to sleep. No? No. They don't put you to sleep? No. They have to know that. And they talk to you so that, you know, it's... But I think they do local. They do. Local. Right. It's not like they just slap you in the thing and then take a drip. I had an operation. Kind of operation? Yeah, what did they do? I mean, the circumcision is bad, but it's right. The circumcision, it's like, oh. Yes, my brother. Oh. Not her. Amen.